So I think there's a lot of interest right now surrounding the iPhone 13 mini, and personally it's a phone that I really enjoy using, so I thought it would be a good idea to make a video based around how I use my iPhone 13 mini, my home screen layout and the apps that I have on it. I'll make sure that everything I talk about is linked down in the description below, but if there is any other questions or if I've missed anything out, then let me know and I'll make sure that I reply to you as soon as possible. Also, before we start the video, if you don't know, I have only just started this channel. I'm really appreciating everybody who is subscribing already. If you haven't subscribed and you're interested in tech, then there's a lot more content coming on this channel, so please hit that subscribe button right now. This is something that I would love to make a career out of and upload video every single week. So yeah, if you're feeling really awesome and you want to support the channel, then hit subscribe now. Okay, so moving on into the video on what's on my iPhone, I guess the first thing that we should really start with is the case that's on my phone. And right now you can see I am using a CASETiFY case. I'm obsessed with CASETiFY. I don't know how many cases I've bought in the past 12 months, but it's a lot. This one currently has NSD written on the back. Those are my initials. So you can personalize these cases. They are very customizable. There is countless designs on CASETiFY's website. And they offer really good protection for your iPhone as well. This video isn't sponsored by CASETiFY or anything, but if CASETiFY are watching and you do want to sponsor the video, then feel free. Hopefully I can get in contact with them someday soon and get some sort of collab going. Okay, so moving on to what's on the actual screen. Right now you can see my wallpaper of choice. It's just a plain wallpaper. There's not really much going on, but it's how I prefer my iPhone to be. Less cluttered with all the apps as well that I end up putting on the front of the wallpaper. If you're interested in this wallpaper, there's actually lots of other colors that you can get. In fact, let me just show you what that looks like. So if you're a fan of any of those colors or that wallpaper specifically, then link is in the description. Like I said, go there and you'll be able to download any of those. If I'm not using this wallpaper, then I normally go to Unsplash to get any wallpapers from there. If you don't know about Unsplash, I'll link them down below. That website, there is high quality images all over that website. Great website. Right, so moving on to my actual home screen itself, you can see here that I keep everything, all my most used apps are just on the one screen. If I swipe over, the app library is right there, so everything is just on that one page. I don't know why I've done this. I always do it. I think it's just easier like that. Save me having to swipe through loads of apps. Everything's just there in front of my face as soon as I unlock the iPhone. I've got my widgets laid out like this. There's no specific reason why. I just think it looks nice like that. At the bottom, if I swipe over on that widget, you can see I've got the Nike Run Club app widget there. For those of you who don't know, I do like to run, so I have those stats there. There is another widget there as well. It's the Find My one, but I'm not going to swipe to that because I don't think that person wants their location shown. But that is another app that I use a lot, the Find My app. Mail, Clock and Photos are the other 3 apps that are in that top left corner. They're apps that I use pretty much every single day, so they're on the front of the iPhone. Moving on down, I've got my work folder. So I am a teacher. Everything that I need for work is inside that one folder. There's no need to go into it specifically. The same way there's no reason to go into the finance app, which is sitting next to it. That app is, well, for my finances. To manage anything to do with money, everything's in that one app. The next app is Dark Sky. Now, I know Apple bought Dark Sky, but I still use the Dark Sky app as well. I just like the user interface on here, the way it looks, and it tells you immediately when it's going to start raining. Yeah, it's just a clean user interface. I'm a fan of that app. Settings is next to it. Not really much to say about that. The Nike Run Club app, if I go into that, I love using this app when I'm going on runs. I think it is the best running app that you can use. I love listening to the guided runs as well when I'm doing that. For those of you who run, you'll know who I'm on about when I talk about Coach Bennett. Yeah, love listening to him. Training plans are here as well. Any stats, recent activity. You can scroll through and see every single one of your runs, click into them, it gives you stats for that specific run, where you ran. It's very detailed. There's not much more I can say about this app. If you're somebody into running, then check it out if you haven't already. Apple Music is the app that's next to that. Now, that's my music streaming service of choice. I have used Spotify in the past, but I just prefer Apple Music. I have a lot of Apple products as well, so it just fits in well with all of those, and my HomePods, everything like that. So Apple Music is the one for me. YouTube is there as well, and all my social media applications. Those are basically the most frequently used apps on my iPhone. The phone, Safari and iMessage, along with the camera at the bottom, are apps that, again, I rely on every single day, especially iMessage. iMessage is probably the main reason why I could never use an Android full time. Everyone I speak to is basically on iMessage, so I'm kind of tied into Apple's ecosystem mainly because of that. Swiping over to the app library, you can see all the other apps. Now, if I go through all of these, we're going to be here all day, so I'll just go through a few on here that I can see right now. If you have a look at the top here where it says recently added, Clubhouse is supposed to be a very good app. I haven't used it much yet, but it is almost like a podcast type app where you can go in and listen to entrepreneurs and CEOs, people who own their own business, are talking in there about making money and all things like that. So if that's something that you're interested in, try Clubhouse. That is a good app. There's another one up there that I've only just downloaded, Too Good To Go. So Starbucks or any restaurants, anything like that near you that have food left over that they haven't sold for the day, they actually do still get rid of that food for a very low price. So let's take Starbucks for example. You can go and reserve a bag from Starbucks for £3, let's say, and it'll have lots of food that's not been sold that day. If that's something that you're interested in, Too Good To Go, that's the app that I'm talking about now. The other apps here, YouTube Studio, I obviously rely on a lot now that I'm making videos for YouTube on here. All of my stats and everything to do with my videos is in the YouTube Studio app. Documents is another app that I really like to manage files on my iPhone. It has a built-in browser as well. If I come out of that, built-in VPN, and all your files are stored in that app for you to be able to access and move around. Moving down from that, I also have the PlayStation app here. Obviously, I'm a PS5 user. I rely on the PS app, so that's there. YouTube, again, you can see all of my entertainment apps are basically in here. I don't use them all, but I use quite a lot of these ones. Shopping and food, going into that one, I'm not sure whether all of you are aware of Klarna, but I think Klarna is a very good app and especially useful for building up your credit score. So if you don't know much about Klarna, have a look into that. Going over to other, you can see CASETiFY, the app is there again. I go into here to see what CASETiFY are doing recently. Their latest collaborations and everything are always in here. So if you're into CASETiFY cases, then that is a good app to have on your phone. Other than that, in here I've got apps that control my smart devices around the house. Mercedes app for the car. Not sure why Pinterest is in there. It should probably be in with the other social media apps, but anyway, Pinterest is something that I use not often, but I do use it. Coming out of that, sport, that's basically just full of tennis apps. I am obsessed with tennis and play tennis myself as well, so that's that. The only other real app that I'd say I use the most is the Beryl app in the travel. I'm not sure how popular Beryl are outside of the UK, but in the UK you can use Beryl to unlock bikes that are just randomly placed around on the street, and you can ride these bikes and you pay for every minute that you're on the bike, and then you come off and it charges your card as long as you put the bike back where it needs to go. If you're into cycling and you don't want to spend money on buying a bike, then that is a good app to use. And then finally, games in the bottom left hand corner there. I'm not really much of a gamer when it comes to playing on iOS devices, but if I am going to play any games, I do like playing 8-Ball Pool. Amaze is a good app for iPhone as well, and Call of Duty, I think that's only recently came out on iPhone. That is a very good app. And at the very bottom there, I've got Education because, you know, teacher. So all of the apps that I need, they're in that folder there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. There's not really much else on here. Like I said, I just wanted to give you guys an insight into how I use my iPhone 13 mini. You can see that the home screen layout, I've put it together the way I have so that I don't have to move around the phone too much, and it's the same reason why I use an iPhone 13 mini as opposed to an iPhone 13 Pro Max. I prefer that ease of use, especially in one hand. If you're someone who's looking at getting an iPhone 13 mini, I cannot recommend it enough. I am going to be making more content in regards to the iPhone 13 mini, so if you haven't subscribed, subscribe for that. I know that this has been quite a long video. I think I haven't edited it yet, but feel like I have been talking quite a lot. So if you're still watching up to now, thank you, I really appreciate it. Remember, a lot more content coming soon, so yeah, I'll see you in my next video.